I found it on Rhema Radio.
Hello everyone, welcome to Rhema Radio, the weekly podcast on faith, culture, music and more. I'm Julia.
Jason here.
And here at the studio we have singer extraordinaire, Juwita Suwito.
Hello!
Juwita! In our previous interview, we introduced Juwita as a singer-songwriter and how her journey has evolved from there into becoming more mission-minded in her songs and also her singing. Juwita, perhaps to just give a quick background on your evolution from your kid singing Michael Jackson days to now.
Juwita-lution.
Juwita-lution.
Wow. Okay, so when I grew up, it was just a plain love for music. I still love music a lot, but I'm beginning to see a lot more... I'm beginning to see the importance of music in life, the role that music can play. Not just music, but the creative arts as large. Because a lot of times we just think of these things as entertainment. It's like, oh, when I'm free, I'll do that as a hobby, just to make me feel happy, listen to some music to pick me up. But I'm beginning to see music as a lot more than that now.
How is that? What do you see music as?
Okay, so for one, it's a great tool to bring people together. So I realized this when I initiated this thing called the Vocal Fest. Now, how this started was, you see, when I travel a lot, to perform or do workshops, I get people coming to tell me that, hey, my son or my daughter or myself, we like singing, but we're not sure what to do with it. Mm-hmm. And so I've got a day job, that kind of thing. But they've got a lot of talent. So I travel around and like, wow. And then you go to Sabah and you're like, whoa, it's a different level of talent altogether. And I thought somebody offered this venue to us, an auditorium. And I thought, hey, I can do something with this, How about we bring all these people that we've met across the country from different spheres in life. Some are teenagers, some are professionals, some are performing artists. Why don't we just bring them together and sing together, and we all level up together. So we'll share pointers, and then we'll do this huge showcase. So what happened was we started small. We started 30 people. The next year we had about 60, 70 people. And I realized that friendships were built, because they all have this common thing, and they love to sing. So you've got this pop singer who's great friends with this church singer now. You've got, professionals and kids, or East Malaysia, KL people just making friends. And you can see that because now you've got social media, so they build on that relationship. And I'm like, wow, this is nation building. It's not just singing for fun anymore. So it really opened my eyes.
So what does Vocal Fest do then? Okay,
so the main thing is to give people an opportunity to explore. So I like singing. What else can I do with this? Should I do this more professionally, or should I just do this when I like? That's one. So we give them an insight to the industry as well. We bring in industry people. We bring in coaches. So, we bring in coaches who are like my buddies in Malaysian Idol, performance coaches. How do you handle the stage? How do you dig into your emotions? So a lot of these things people don't really talk about. Singers, we think a lot about the technical part, but we don't go into the bigger aspects of performing and stuff. So that's part of it. The other half of it is collaboration. So people who don't know each other, we put them in groups and like, hey, come up with a performance. What I really, really love is, we have a lot of jago kampong, right? It's like in your sphere, in your company, in your school, you're the best singer. And when that happens, you tend to take it down a notch sometimes because you don't want to show off, or you don't want to be like so action,
Yeah.
But when you are matched with somebody who's at par with you or even better, you naturally step up. You naturally dig into like, what else do I have in there, And you see that happening. So that's my favorite part of.
Wow. So it sounds like a really it's a project where people can come together for the love of music, and also to explore their talents, like you said, because as you started off, people have this. They feel, okay, I am a shower singer, but then there's more to how far can you go, right? And then also to get some sort of, like, you hear from feedback from professionals who say, hey, this is actually you're good lah. Or actually you're not that good lah.
Or you're good in that but not so good in this,
Or you can improve in this. So it's a good place to know yourself better. And then I'm just thinking to myself, is there any other ways for people who are musicians to, besides just doing their own thing on YouTube or organizing their own shows, there's no actually other schools that have some sort of training or a way for them to give wings to their talent, as it were?
Okay, I do know there are groups like Rock School Malaysia that's trying to do that. So they have rock camp or something. So they bring people together.
Is it only rock music or what?
No, it's pop and rock.
That's certainly the perception.
Pop and rock. Yeah. But Rock School sounds more happening than Pop School, right?
Okay.
So yeah. So I mean, it's a London-based examination board, but the guys in Malaysia, and I know them pretty well.
Nice.
They really have the spirit of bringing people together, empowering people. So yeah, there are pockets of that. And then you've got in the Christian scene, you've got the different, what do you call that? People across different disciplines are coming together as well. So we haven't come up with a name yet, but right now it's called the Christian Creatives Network. Is that what it is? Yeah. So it's really fun when people come together. You know, people from film industry, people from music, people from fine arts, actors, theatre.
Yeah. So just different pockets of initiatives here and there. Also, just to remember, there's another one called Indigitus, who is there's more for I think it was online platforms like hacking and anything digital, like even design and all kinds of things. I think they're kind of trying to kick that off as well. So there are of course Rhema Radio as well. We are open for collaborations, and we just released a video, and it's all about getting people together from different churches, different background, different discipline, and doing something great together. I think that's the whole idea, just to have that kind of kingdom-mindedness. Yeah.
Do you think that's needed in Malaysia, though? I think we were talking earlier about how music somehow still is, especially among the younger generation, and how music and entertainment is just something that is in the background.
Yes, actually, I don't know how they do that. You know, you look at people nowadays. Okay, I won't say kids, but yeah, kids nowadays. Makes me feel old.
Kids these days.
They are able to listen to music on their headphones and write essays. I don't know how they do that, because if I'm listening to music, I cannot write an essay or even if the radio is on, I cannot do anything creative because I am pulled into listening to what's going on in the other creative piece, you know? Or I have a writer friend who writes, but she plays instrumental music in the background. So that makes sense. But if you're having lyrics and people singing and it's white noise, which is a bit scary, because then I don't know what is music becoming to people. Do people actually listen?
Yeah, I heard somewhere that it's because the generation has we evolve in a sense as well. Like we're talking about evolution. It's called a mosaic generation, where it's no longer the people in the maybe 30, 40 years ago, it's very linear. Like you have to do one thing at a time. You can't do so many things at one time. But because of the way technology has taken over, and you have different windows and different, you know, you have your phone, you have your iPad, you got your TV, you got different screens, and you're multitasking. So people can do like 5 different things at one time. But the quality of what they do is questionable, I guess.
True.
But I guess the younger ones are. I mean, I myself, I don't know. We can to some extent perform certain multiple functions, multitasking.
Yeah.
But of course, I think it suffers to an extent, but it's true what you say about art. If you're not really fully engaged, if like you're putting something on there, and then I don't think you get the full extent of it, right? You don't get the full meaning. It's just it's just like going through a scenic route and then pass and not getting anything out of it. You're not appreciating anything out of it. Yeah,
it's good, but it's not great.
It's like going to the gym, you know. It's like you focus totally on your workout and you like give your 100% to it. It's different from watching something going on the TV screen and you're just like running along. Yeah, it's different. There's the benefit in both,
right?
But it's just a different impact.
I thought you were going to say it's like going to the gym and then not doing any workout because you're not really engaged.
Taking selfies, is it?
Because you have to be taking selfies.
And then you just leave the gym like, hey, I've been to the gym, and you feel good about that, but you don't really achieve anything.
Got treadmill, but you're watching the TV. I mean, you still get a workout, but it's different. It's a different, different kind of impact.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting turn of conversation. We'll be right back here on Rhema Radio.
Rhema Radio.
Hey there! Do you ever wonder how you could take your singing to a whole new level? Want to explore industry possibilities? Keen to collaborate with a tapestry of diverse talents? Well, sign up for Vocal Fest 2017. It's happening on the 20th to 22nd of October at Mindspace, Oasis Village in Ara Damansara. Check out VoxFest Malaysia on Facebook for more info. This is Juwita Suwito. I'll see you there.
I'm Ashley Low from Adams Road Presbyterian Church, Singapore. Today's reading is Isaiah 43, 1-3. Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. For I am the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, your Savior.
And we're back on Rhema Radio with Juwita, Suwito. I'm Julia.
And I'm Jason.
And we were just talking about the Malaysian music scene. Juwita, where do you see the Malaysian music scene right now? What are some of the challenges?
I like your questions, you know.
Make you
She
think,
likes
right?
with air quotes. Is it with air quotes?
It's interesting because we were just commenting at, you look at the mainstream music scene, I think there are the shining bright lights, and then there are a lot of other acts that seem to be, new acts even, that seem to be making the progress of the industry stagnate. It's like churning out one after another, but not really anything...
Substantial.
Yes, substantial. Those are the ones with cash. On the other hand, like I was just watching the video that you guys did for Easter,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm like, whoa, massive talent there. Why haven't I heard their stuff? Again, it's like, and coming from a record label thing, you know, I have my own record label. I would so love to take on more of artists like this.
Yeah.
But at the back of my mind, it's like, but how do we fund this? You know, it's got to be sustainable. It can't be, you know, the record label can't be pumping in 6,000 ringgit, which to some people is like, you know, small change. But to us, it's like, how are we going to make this back? And how? So there's these questions. It's like, where is the money going to? Is the money being used well? Could it be used better? Is there better talents that we can invest in? Because Malaysia is really, really not short of talent. And we have people that are ready to nurture. Is the public ready to embrace them and support them and run with them?
It's interesting you brought that up because even on Rhema Radio, as we're doing it, we realized we kind of knew, okay, there are talents here and there. But only when we do projects like this and when we do some initiative and like say the Easter video, because prior to the video, like some of them I didn't even know of them.
Yeah.
Like that little girl Claudia,
Exactly. She's like, whoa.
she's so talented, right? But I didn't know until Adeline went around hunting, going to people and say, hey, we need talents.
Right,
We want people from different churches come together. So she did really a good job doing that and putting the place, even the venue and all that together. And then we hear about these talents, and then I mean, if there's no platform like this, they may not have had the kind of exposure which they deserve because they're so talented.
Yeah.
And you rightly put it as well. It's it has to be sustainable. It has to be a complete wholesome approach, right? And I think the question is, how do you get there? I mean, the funds, right? It's also the business side of things. It has to be sustainable.
Correct.
Yeah.
I have a question though. I mean, I'm listening to both of you and I'm wondering, identifying the talent is one. But is talent enough?
See, all good questions. Only on Rhema Radio. I was not paid to say that. Talent alone is not enough. But, you know, listening to, again, citing the example that I just said just now, it's not just talent. You can see that they've worked on their craft. You can see... That was taken live, right?
Yeah,
you know, and I'm sitting back there wondering.
In fact, it was very last minute. I just gave them the song. Like for one or two of them, they only found out like the day before. The keyboardists only found out like half an hour before, that kind of thing. Yeah, so they were put on the spot.
Yeah, and you know, you're thinking a lot of these things that come out of studio, a lot of thousands of ringgit have gone into it, and it's nowhere close. That kind of quality, it's nowhere close to that. I know.
Just putting it out there.
But the way you were explaining how the process was, I know that it was a very
It's a passion project.
Yeah, and it was a very real, capture of what happened, you know, in the studio. They sang, and it's not like a million layers of autotune and all that. You can just feel that coming. It's talent that has been worked on. But again, we do need some kind of mechanism to push it further. You don't want to like, oh yeah, she sang that one song. And then
that's it.
Yeah, such a waste.
I just want to take this time to tell those that were in the video, great job, Juwita. Juwita saying good things about the video.
Yes.
So, achievement unlocked. Okay.
We'll be right back. Apparently, after that shameless plug. Stay tuned.
Rhema Radio.
Hi everyone, my name is Charlene. I attend the St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church in Kuala Lumpur. Just want to say a quick prayer for newly wedded couples to start their journey in their marriage together. Father Lord, we thank you for all the people that you've brought together and to start a union together. Lord, whoever that you have put together, no man shall separate. And because we know that, Lord, that you have put them together for a reason, for a purpose, Lord, we ask that you will open up their hearts to receive you and to seek you diligently, Lord, so that your wonderful works can be displayed in their lives together. In Jesus' name we pray.
And we're back with Juwita Suwito. Yay! Okay, Juwita, I want to ask you, having been in the industry for how long now?
Well, solo, 12 years.
12 years. And coming out with, how many albums now?
3 only lah.
3 albums. But still.
They're really great
Wow,
albums.
yeah, great albums.
Thank you.
So, what is your aspiration? I mean, for Malaysia, what's your hopes for the Malaysian music industry, and maybe also specifically the gospel music industry?
I won't, limit it to just the gospel industry. But talents, like I said, we do have a lot of talent. I would like to see there being a way, a platform in which these talents can really go the full potential. Again, it needs a lot. They used to say if you put 30,000 ringgit into the making of an album, and that's like hardly anything for now. You can't even do very much with that. But you need, let's say you put X number of ringgit into producing an album. That same X number of ringgit needs to go into marketing. And a lot of times we kind of work on one, and we think that, if it's a quality thing, then we don't have to spend so much money marketing. On the other hand, we think like, if the product is not that great, then we need to market it even more. So it's like, how lah? I would love to see a lot more of the quality stuff really, really rising to the top. That, you mention the name and everybody's like, yes, I know. Because it's deserved. They've worked on it. And I think just appreciating that music, like, coming back to what we were saying just now, that music is not just purely for entertainment. I think music and the creative arts, they form our worldviews, like it or not. I listen to stuff on radio and I'm like, why is it playing in my head? So yeah, I mean, it's got this major role, like the arts. If you go to a museum and you're like, wow, this is our heritage, and it forms your culture.
Yeah.
So we need to begin to maybe educate perhaps a younger generation, because they'll grow up to be the next movers and shakers, whether they're in politics or business or education. What were we saying just now? Was it Einstein?
Yeah.
Einstein was a musician.
Yeah, we talk about Einstein off air and
Yes.
someone else besides Einstein. But
Yes. And there's research nowadays to show that it was because of music that helped him to unlock all his scientific connections.
Wow.
Because music is you got to think about so many things, the pitch, the lyrics, and it helps you to connect dots. So music actually helps with science. It helps with unlocking your innovation in business. So, when you start to connect the dots this way, then you realize that, it's not this thing that you just do and you're free, or you got nothing better to do, or you're not smart enough to enter college, then
Banish
do you know
that
what I mean? Yeah, it's different. It's different.
And I think we were speaking off air also about how it's about meaning, isn't it? Also,
is about meaning,
art
yeah.
brings meaning, and
It does.
like the same way, like a day can be just another day, or it can be a meaningful day. Like we celebrate Father's Day or Christmas or whatever it is, and a monument can be just another block of wood or whatever, or it can mean something else, or some form of like national heritage, or so. It's the same with songs. Like has songs these days lose its meaning? You feel? Or songwriters, I mean, are they? I'm okay. This is my take. Okay, I'm gonna answer one question, but I think that the good stuff, good music is still out there. It's just it's because if you look hard enough, it's still being produced. Good lyrics are written, great songs are still being produced. Just that probably people don't listen so much. I say music these days they don't. It's not out there, but because it's not out there. It's not not there. It's just not out there.
It may be also it's not getting as much airplay as
The popular
we would
stuff.
like. Yeah. The lighter stuff, the teeny bopper stuff. I was just having this conversation with a friend the other day in the car on the way to Ipoh. And it's like, because he was playing Rascal Flatts, I think. So we were listening to this whole album. And I said, how come country music, right, talks so much about life, and then you listen to other genres, it's just about love and some things we cannot mention on air right now.
Or certain body parts.
Certain body parts, exactly. And the whole genre, and I suppose the thing that gets airplay a lot are the more happy ones lah, which is
Junk
not
food,
bad.
the
There's
junk
always
food
a
stuff.
place for it, you
Yeah.
know. Like that's what I like. That's what I also like, you know. But there are stuff like, you know, like U2, you know, that speaks so much of there's so much meaning in their songs, or Carrie Underwood, you know. There are those songs that have a lot of meaning as well. So
Juwita, Suwito, you know, right?
I know.
Yeah,
Ayo,
exactly.
thank you lah.
Yeah, I was listening. So that really Spotify is doing this new feature where you can actually they actually have this the meaning of the song. Like as the song plays, they'll give you this fact.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is the lyrics. This is what it's all about. Yeah. And then someone commented and said, "Wow!" Then if certain genre, like say certain hip hop. The meaning is just going to be like
It's just gonna be blank.
it's going to be, you know. I love hip hop, yeah, but then there are a generalization, a certain kind of
True,
songs.
but there are very, very good lyrics in hip hop
Exactly,
as well. Like if
exactly.
you listen to Black Eyed Peas, I listen to Where's the Love.
Or
If you
Lecrae.
actually listen to the lyrics, it's like wow,
It makes you think.
wow, yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of Spotify, speaking of playlists, actually that's a great way that we can actually make a difference as you and I, because you know. The way song ratings go up or down nowadays is by how much you listen to it, how much you share it, you know. So you would know social media, once you get a share, it goes back up, you know, it keeps getting on people's timelines. Same thing with Spotify. If I have that on my playlist, I have these great songs, you know, and I share it, other people start listening to it. So there is a mechanism where you can actually, you know, influence or share great songs that you hear with other people, or even YouTube.
Technology kind of
Technology does
democratizes
help.
that
Yes,
process.
yes, it
Okay.
does.
It democratizes it, yes, but I think there's also a danger of just doing a song for just the viral effect.
True.
And then it just dies off after, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. How would you think that we can sustain that, sustain the deeper meaning, so that to ensure that the meaning of the song basically just goes deep?
Well, I think great things last. You know,
Some songs are more timeless than others.
exactly. So, I mean, my aspiration for myself is to be a songwriter like Sting. You know, I mean, it's a very big aspiration.
Says the man.
It's like, you know, it speaks to you in a different way. It's like that kind of thing, or Bono, U2, you know. And I mean, they are huge artists in their own right, but I would rather my work last rather than be a hype over the next 3 months or 1 year, and then okay, whatever, you know. So yeah, I mean, even you look at, I'm sure there was rubbish music in the past as well. People look back and they say, you know, the hymns were so great, you know, the songs nowadays. But look at the bright side. The hymns have lasted 400 years.
Correct.
I'm sure there were rubbish songs then which were forgotten after 10, 20 years, you know, or even some okay songs. But it would be the great songs that last. So if we create great things now, then, you know, like again, the museum thing, you know, I looked at this painting and I'm like, 400 years old. The actual 400, it's not a replica, it's the thing, you know.
And it's still around,
And
it still lasts, and it's
that,
still
that
relevant.
canvas, and it's still speaking to me, like, wow.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry so much about that lah, you know. There are things to make people happy today, tomorrow, and then they're gone the next day, that's fine, like the snowflakes, right? But yeah, other things will last.
What would you say, okay, for those out there who have the desire to pursue art, to pursue music, to pursue maybe they feel that they have some talent and they got some validation from people and say, yeah, you should do something about it. What would your advice to be?
You believe that, you know, you are called or you have a gift that you are working hard on. I think that's really important, to work hard on your gift. Then go for it. Look for people who can support you. When I first started out, I didn't know of many Christians that were in the scene. Now there are a lot in different genres. And there are people who have made their mark. There are people who have proven, you know, their worth, so to speak, in terms of skill. So, I mean, look them up. They'll be most happy to come, you know, hold your hand and help you along. So you don't have to reinvent it's good to reinvent, but some things you already there, so you can just use it and just go with it.
So you're saying there's a community?
There is a community now. There is a community that is a very empowering community, especially in the Christian circles, I would say. And even if you're like me and you don't think, you know, your music is not strictly for church or the Christian market per se, and you want to do songs that speak to the marketplace, songs that are, that can have radio airplay, go for it as well. And again, I am my MBTI profile is I'm an INFP, which means, right, anything I do has to have a very, very deep meaning for me. And that's why when I talk about music, I talk about it that way. But for a lot of other people, it's fine. I can just I'll just create any kind of music, and as long as it's great quality, that's great. Yeah. And that's great. So don't think that, I'm saying that, your music has to have some deeper, you know what I mean?
There are different expressions of it.
There's different expressions. There's different reasons that people do music. If you like to play jazz, go for it. Or just bubblegum pop. Go for it. Just make sure that you're good at what you do. And you shine your light in wherever you are.
And because also people consume content differently. Some they take deeper stuff.
Yeah, can you imagine if all music was deep? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We'll be brain dead after like 20 minutes, I think.
So discover who you are. What makes you buzz? What makes you tick?
And be true to yourself and just and
exactly.
says. I think the key here is to be honest also with what you feel. And if it's something worth saying and if there's meaning to it, I think people also will come around and support and rally around and push it forward. And I don't know, I'm thinking about people who are, you talking about funding earlier on, to support. I don't know if they know the meaning. People out there listening, businessmen, and they know the meaning and they know the impact that it can achieve. Maybe they would be more open to also support and to do more stuff, because it takes a village to raise a pop star. True. I think.
But it's true, right? Nobody works in a silo anymore.
So maybe it's going to happen soon. Maybe we've had people coming across disciplines to come together. So maybe people from different areas, different industries can come together as well.
So there are maybes there, but our aspiration is that we will get there, and it takes one step at a time, one show at a time, one collaborative project at a time. But I believe that because art is so relevant and it's something that especially us going on in life, it helps us to reconcile even our struggles and helps us to have a positive outlook and it helps us to dream, helps us to hope. And I think that's the thing that art can do.
Yeah, it basically helps us to express all the varying, different, extreme emotions. Sometimes even stirs out emotions that you don't know would bury deep
helps us to it helps us to understand one another as well.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think that's very, very needed right now in Malaysia. So
And thanks for that, Juwita. I totally agree with you. This is what Malaysia needs, and here's where we will go from here forth. So here we are, signing off. Thank you so much, Juwita. I'm Julia.
I'm Jason.
And
you've been listening to
Rhema Radio.
Have a good one, everyone. See ya.
School bells waking up the town, sun rays reaching through the clouds, long waves beating up the shore. New day, opportunity knocks our phone, waiting in the dark. You're there, standing at the door. Can't you feel the oceans rising? Will you ever be over with your analyzing? Your comfort is paralyzing you. Your comfort is paralyzing you. It's time to light the fire in you. Hey. You're in hopeless tug of war. Your wait since 1964. Guess what? You are losing ground. Seek life while it may be found. The flowers are dancing all around. The writing's on the wall. Can't you feel the oceans rising? Will you ever be over with your analyzing? Your comfort is paralyzing you. Your comfort is paralyzing you. Your comfort is paralyzing you. Your comfort is paralyzing you.
to the oceans? Will you ever be over with the earth? Can't you feel it? Can't you feel it? Will you ever be over with the earth? Oh, your comfort is paralyzing. Comfort is paralyzing.
This segment episode features the song Light the Fire by Juwita Suwito. Today's episode is edited and mixed by Veronica Ng and recorded at Prodeo Studio. Stream or download new episodes weekly on Friday. Like us on Facebook to find out the latest from Rhema Radio. Leave us a message and let us know what you'd like to hear in the future episodes. You don't want to miss Judith Halim's amazing life testimony in our next segment. We were really blessed listening to it, and we know you will be too.
Rhema Radio is a non-profit initiative by the Love Malaysia Media Project. Time, talent, and treasure is put into creating the content you listen to. Your support enables us to keep this going and expand further. Log on to www.rhemarad.io/support to find out how you can partner with us in creating value-adding content that ministers to the masses. Once again, that's www.rhemarad.io/support. Let's get the word out there.
You're listening to Rhema Radio.